Hey Team Bio, today's video is a quick tutorial on how to use the microscope. We're going to be using these all the time in this class, so it's important to learn how to use it well early on in the year. Okay, we went over the parts of the scope yesterday in class, and I'm going to teach you how to bring a sample into focus using this tool. Okay, so we're gonna start out, we've got a sample, the letter E. This is the first thing that you're gonna look at when we start to use the microscopes. Notice it's got a descriptive title off to what is the left of the slide here, and then it's got the sample right in the middle here. The first thing that you wanna do when you're mounting the sample on the microscope is, so write this down in your notes. Number one, make sure the stage is as low as it can go. You're gonna use the coarse focus knob to lower the stage all the way. Okay, the next thing that you're gonna do is make sure that the objective lens that's pointed down at the stage, directly down, is the lowest power objective, which for us is 4x. So it might have a 4 on it, might have a 4x on it, and it will probably have a little red line at the top. Okay, once your stage is all the way lowered and your 4 power objective lens is pointed directly down, you're ready to mount your sample on the stage. You open up the slide clip, the alligator clip, you slide the sample into place, and then you close the alligator clip. So it should look like this. The sample is clearly and securely clipped into place on the stage, and it should be flat on the stage. Okay, when you're at this point, so you've got that 1, 2, 3, stage all the way lowered, lowest power objective down, slide the slide onto the stage into the clip. Next thing you're gonna do is turn the microscope on. There's an on-off button on the back. Boop. You're gonna flip it on, and then there's a light intensity knob on the side. You're gonna roll it up 1, 2 times till about half the light intensity. Okay, so next thing, turn the microscope on, light intensity rolled up twice. Okay, at this point, when the slide is on the stage, you're no longer going to manipulate or touch the slide directly. Any changes that you make to the position of the slide on the stage is done through the orientation knobs. There are 2 knobs that are directly underneath the microscope right here, the orientation knobs. One is a north-south orientation. This moves the stage up and down this direction, and the other is an east-west orientation. You can't see it as well in this, east-west, moves the slide back and forth here. So once the slide is on the stage, the light is on, the light intensity is halfway up, you are going to use your naked eye. This means not looking through the microscope, just eyes directly looking down at the sample. You are going to use the orientation knobs to get your sample, so for me it's the letter E, directly over the light source. So this tells me when I see my sample right over the light source, I know that it's centered in the field of view. And now I'm finally ready to bring the sample into focus. So, with the low power objective lens, you always want to use the coarse focus knob to bring the sample into focus. The coarse focus knob raises and lowers the stage coarsely, dramatically, a lot. So a small rotation of this knob raises and lowers the stage significantly. This is the fine focus knobs, and it's also raising and lowering the stage when I move it around, but it's doing so imperceptibly, just a really small amount. So when you're first bringing your sample into focus, you always want to use the coarse focus knobs, not the fine focus knobs, coarse focus knobs only. So now that the slide is on the stage, the light is on, halfway up, centered in the field of view or in the light source with the naked eye, then I put my eye down to, this is called the ocular lens, and slowly, making sure to keep looking through the ocular, I raise the stage with the coarse focus knobs until the specimen is centered, or I centered here, but in focus through the ocular lens. It's super important that as you're raising the stage, the entire time you raise the stage, you look through the ocular. You'd be surprised how many students try to focus a sample without actually looking through the ocular lens while they're changing the focus knob. So keep your eyes on the prize through the ocular lens while you raise and lower the stage, always with the coarse focus to begin with. Okay, so now my sample is centered and in focus at 4x, actually at 40x, because the ocular lens also has a power of 10 times 4, 40 overall magnification. Okay, so when I'm ready to look at the sample through the next power objective lens, which is a 10x objective lens, so total magnification between these two lenses is 100 times, what I need to do is take the ocular cassette and rotate it until the next objective lens clicks into place. When I hear it click, then I know that it's set and in the right place. With this objective, you also want to use the coarse focus knob, not the fine focus, coarse focus only. And again, any adjustments that you make to the focus should be done while you're looking through the ocular lens. So actually, I should have said this before, when you rotate from 4x to 10x, before you do that, you have to make sure that your sample is focused and also centered in the field of view with your orientation up. So my sample is focused and centered. Now I can roll this over and look again, and I'm going to refocus with the coarse focus knobs again. So low power 4x and medium power 10x, both using the coarse focus knobs. I'm going to refocus my sample at this medium power objective. Okay, at this time, my sample is centered in the field of view and focused, and I'm ready for the 40x objective lens. As soon as I rotate this one over, and it looks like it's going to hit the slide, but it won't if my sample is centered and in focus. Now, I switch from only using the coarse objective to only using the fine focus. I said objective, this is the focus knob. So I switch from using the coarse to the fine. You are not allowed to use the coarse focus with the high-powered objective lens, the 40x objective. So once you swing this back over, you are going to refocus only using the fine focus now. And now my sample is focused, and I'm going to recenter it in the field of view, and voila. So I've focused my sample at low, medium, and high power. This 100 times objective lens is actually an oil lens. It requires a drop of oil to slow down visible light so we can have a higher resolving power, but we're not going to be using the oil lens in our class. So we're going to refer to the red as low, the yellow or the 10x as medium, and the blue or 40x as high. And oil is not going to come into play in our class. Okay, so I've looked at my sample under all three powers of the microscope. In order to release the sample from the stage, first you need to rotate the objective lens, the low-powered objective lens, back so it's pointed down at the sample. Then you want to lower the stage. Then you can take off the slide and exchange it for another one, or if you're done for the day, you can turn off the scope and rotate the light intensity all the way down. And that is how you use the microscope. Hopefully you have an ordered list of important steps that you can use tomorrow when you take your quiz. Okay, see you tomorrow.